This vlog. This is the Wildcat Trail Road from the Wildcat Battlefield. We are headed toward Livingston and the river in search of Ward Cemetery today. Ward Cemetery is in Rockcastle County. There's a dispute on Find a Grave about where it's at. We're going to end that dispute here today and verify and prove that part of Rockcastle County is on the south side of the river. So more information upcoming. On the road to the Ward Cemetery that we're headed to on Wildcat Trail, Wildcat Road, whatever you want to call it. You see it's snowed here last night, but we drove past a little roadside puddle and the frogs are confused. It got up to near 70 degrees the other day, and that's frog eggs. And we're headed in that direction toward Livingston. On the road down to the Ward Cemetery on the Wildcat Trail, there's a county line sign. That means that we are getting ready to head into Rockcastle County, even though we're nowhere near the river yet. So this is going to prove that the Ward Cemetery is still in Rockcastle.
It's almost a mile.
So onward. And we have arrived at the Ward Cemetery, right down on the river. A little historical information. Rockcastle County put some historical markers out here. Ward Cemetery dates back to the 1800s. The Ward Cemetery across the Rockcastle River from this location is the burial site of Rockcastle County's first judge, Uriah Grisham. Also burial site of early 19th century legislators and other prominent citizens of the once flourishing community of Livingston. That's toward Livingston. Rockcastle County's done a great job keeping this road up. And this is the Ward Cemetery. Down here today with a couple of friends of mine. One is Mr. Buzz Carloftis, who is the former county judge executive, who's just a wealth of historic information. Hey Buzz, that's a heck of a spire there. Who's that?
That is the Davis family.
Prominent family, obviously. They a prominent Rockcastle family?
Down in here, obviously, but I'll tell you what, there was a doctor lived right down here, and the house got destroyed by fire about 7 or 8 years ago. Big brick house, had pocket doors.
Now we're on the south side of the Rockcastle. You want to explain real quick about...
On the south side of the river. The sign up there should have been put on the other side of the river. And this is Rockcastle County. Rockcastle is on both sides of the river from the US 25 bridge and goes upriver through Livingston and about 2 miles upriver from Livingston. So it's about 7 miles of where Rockcastle's got both sides of the river.
Thank you. That's good information to know. Pretty good sized cemetery. The Ward Cemetery. A lot of old graves. And they go all the way down the hill to the railroad tracks. A little dispute that's been going on the Ward Cemetery side on Find a Grave. One guy on the description says it's clearly in Laurel. The guy that posted a picture states that it's in Rockcastle. The guy who says that it's in Rockcastle County is absolutely correct. And you heard it first from former county judge executive Buzz Carloftis. It's the graveside of Judge Uriah Grisham, the first judge executive of Rockcastle County. Died July the 4th, 1859. Hard to see, it's so bright. Beautiful place though.
year I've seen.
Sun's awfully bright out here in the snow today. Ward Cemetery's right here on the tracks. We came down here today searching for a grave, and we found it. This is the Ward Cemetery, Rockcastle County, on the south side of the river. The grave we came looking for today was this one here. It was a request on Find a Grave. Dolly Mahaffey. She's been laying here since August 12th, 1931. A lot of history in this cemetery. Arjun Bright. Peaceful place. It's back up that way toward Wildcat Battleground. And we're down here where these people either have to ford the river or walk up the tracks to get home from Livingston.
Would have been coal or wood?
These old concrete things over here, Buzz seems to think had something to do with loading timber on trains. The big concrete, they're not graves. They're on the edge of the cemetery there. And very likely these were used for some sort of ramp to roll logs out onto trains. Lo and behold, train pass by. Large concrete pads. One time probably had something to do with rolling logs out on the trains. Almost like a unit train coal operation for logs. Talking to one of the local guys. They used to bucket mine back up in this country, and these concrete pads were for a unit train on loading coal to the tracks instead of timber. May have used it for timber at some point too, but did some bucket mining back up and through here and right to the tracks. This is the Ward Cemetery. Once again, there's the sign.
Hey buddy, I'm gonna get over here and get warm. Well, I'm already warm.
It's an interesting gravesite here of Leslie L., son of W.L. Martin. It's been here since 1894, and it's a little sheep and a log. That's part of the stone. A little child that was probably less than 2 years old. Not quite 2 years old. This is a tall stone here. It's kind of interesting.
1792 died 1850. How about that?
1792 to 1850?
Yeah, that's an old one.
This is a smith. Tall spire. Stone's about 9 feet tall. I don't know if you can make that out or not, but it says born in Connecticut, died in Kentucky, 1882. The smith.
Put some stuff on this for you.
The snow really brings it out.
It's melting too fast.
That's pretty neat. This is what's known as a cenotaph. This is Robert Lee Moore. 1911 was when he was born, and he died at 6/4/42.
He's-
Chief Yeoman on the
still
aircraft carrier Yorktown, killed by Jap bomb in the Midway Battle at sea, and buried at sea, June 6, 1942. This is his cenotaph. Erected this stone to the memory of our darling buried in the sea. Moore, Robert Lee Moore.